Hello and welcome back to this video. We're talking about how to secure the Amazon root account and adding additional controls beyond what just adding multi-factor authentication. In the previous video, we actually set up a user password template with Centrify Identity Service. And this allows my user to be able to launch this application using the Centrify plugin, and they don't need to know the password, and they can't change the password. So it's an additional control in there. But typically you want to restrict this. You want to add additional controls, and by Amazon's own recommendation, they recommend to you add multi-factor authentication, right? So with Centrify, you have a powerful authentication engine, right? And today you have the ability to create what are called authentication profiles, right? So you can have different authentication profiles set up that allow for password, the mobile authenticator app that Centrify provides, as you can see in the right side, a phone call, text message, email, user security question, although I wouldn't recommend that much. It's very highly social engineerable, or even an Auth OTP, Google Authenticator, Amazon virtual OTP, anything that supports Auth can be onboarded. Uh, this is a very short video because it's as simple as just checking a box. So we had our application already set up, right? So what I'm going to do is just to use Lisa as an example. I'm going to add Lisa to the role, but first let's check the box in here. So we're going to go in the policy, and all I need to do is require strong authentication. So based on the authentication profiles that I have, this is what's going to be available to the user, right? So I'm going to press save, and if I go back to the roles, I'm going to add my user Lisa. So if I go in here to members, and I'm going to do Lisa. So Lisa, is a user from AD. So if we wanted to kind of, okay, Lisa Simpson. Let's do a search in here. So here it is. So this is going to make sure that Lisa has access to the application, right? So I actually have another browser here, this Chrome browser. It's logged on as Lisa. I'm going to reload her rights. And what you'll see is that the application now showed up. But notice the little key right here. So now we have this key. And, based on that, I guess, I got to just do the browser plugin. Right? This is actually good. So we're going to add it to Chrome. So it's going to be reloaded. So it should be in memory now. So now when I reload here, notice the little keys here. So if she launches the application, here's what's going to happen. She's going to be challenged for any of the things that I actually allowed. So in here, what I'm going to use is the mobile authenticator, because this is true MFA, something that I have in front of me, this phone, right? With, something I know the password, and I already had a session on that. So if I pick the mobile authenticator, I'm going to get a notification on my screen on the right and says, hey, do you approve access to this application? Notice that I still had the ability to get the code, but I'm just going to do a push MFA. I could have typed the code if I needed to. And notice that now I have an additional control in play that will allow me to access that, to add additional controls to secure that account. So now not only we're meeting but exceeding the requirements that we have. In terms of policy, when you look at the application as well, I can say, well, maybe I'm interested in also making sure that this is only accessible from inside the corporate IP range. So we're going to be testing that in the next video. Okay.